Hey everyone. So in my previous post, I think it was about 2 weeks ago, I came to you guys to just be kind of transparent and let you know that I was in a battle and it was an unexpected battle. And I had to practice the principles of deciding how I was going to react to that battle, identifying what I could learn from the battle, and move beyond the battle. So this week I want to, I guess, kind of, it could be considered as a part two, because I've been walking out, moving beyond that battle. And this morning when I woke up, it was three words that were really on my mind as soon as I woke up, and I've just been mulling them over and meditating on them a little bit longer throughout the day. And so what was kind of shared with me in my quiet time, I wanted to share it with you. So what occurred to me, or what has been, I guess, kind of pressing on me, is moving beyond the battle, that unexpected battle that just popped up and tried to take my knees from up under me. As I'm moving beyond that, just Lord, what exactly should I be doing as I am moving beyond that? And this morning, the words that occurred to me were stop, drop, and roll. And it's really funny because it took me back to my grade school days, where I think all of us were taught the principle of stop, drop, and roll. If you're on fire, the first thing you do, you stop running, you drop to the ground, and you roll around to try to put the fire out. And it came back to me this morning, and it was almost like a chant. I was saying to myself, stop, drop, and roll, stop, drop, and roll. But it wasn't because that's what I should be doing. It came back to me because it was just showing me that's what I am doing, and I shouldn't be doing that. It's almost like an ingrained behavior that, and maybe because, like I said, it was drilled into me in grade school, and I don't know if for you guys as well, to stop, drop, and roll whenever there's a threat of fire, or threat of attack, or threat, stop, drop, and roll, stop, drop, and roll. And so I think I took that tactic to other situations beyond just the being on fire, because that's what it was taught to me, that if I'm on fire, to do that. But I started doing it in other areas as well. Here's what I mean. So when the battle, presents itself and it's unexpected, it's like, oh my gosh, oftentimes we stop. We stop any forward progression that we might have made on our level up journey. We stop right there in what we feel and in our emotions, and we just stop. And then we drop down deeper into that feeling, or into that emotion, or whatever the negativity that came from the battle, we drop down deeper into it. And then, as if that's not enough, we roll around in it. We roll in the drama. We roll in the toxic. We roll in the mess. And that's why that happened. And I can't believe it. And why did you say that? And nah. And we roll and we roll. And we get it all in our hair. It gets in our clothes. It gets in our language. It gets in what we say. It gets in what we think. It gets into everything. And so I woke up this morning thinking, stop, drop, and roll. No. I shouldn't be stopping, dropping, and rolling. Those aren't the actions that I should be taking in order to move beyond the battle, because I've already decided how I'm going to behave in this battle. I know what it is that I'm supposed to be learning from this battle. So why am I trying to move beyond the battle by stopping, dropping, and rolling around in whatever the mess or the carnage from the battle? That doesn't make sense. Yet, that's some of what I was doing. And so it just occurred to me, wait a minute, we shouldn't be stopping, dropping, and rolling. We should be, what did I say? We should be going, rising, and flying. Go, rise, fly. Not stop, drop, roll. What do I mean by that? Go. Instead of stopping right where we are, stopping right there in that emotion, stopping right there, that difficulty, we should be moving, going to Jesus with our problems. If there's the number one place we should go, it should be right there. Go to Jesus about it. Tell him all about it. Go to him. Another place where we can go in order to move past the battle, because the reality is we feel the way that we do. It hurt. You know, it was something that we did not expect. It caught us off guard. It knocked our breath out of our chest. It buckled our knee. I mean, by no means am I sitting here saying that we should ignore what we feel. We feel what we feel, but that's all the more reason to go see a therapist or a life coach. I know that a lot of times we think, well, I'm not crazy. I don't need to see a therapist. I have a counselor and 2 coaches. She needs a lot of help. I mean, there's nothing, it's really something that in order to really continue to go and move in life, you almost kind of need one. You know, having that safe space to vent about how you feel, to talk about how you feel, and to get some perspective on what it is that you're feeling or what it is that you are experiencing. You know, going to godly friends. Notice I said godly friends, not those friends that's just going to speak to your flesh and tell you what you want to hear. And yeah, man, you shouldn't even be, not those friends. I'm talking about those friends that will hold you accountable while they are holding you up and praying for you. Those type of friends, going there so that you can talk about whatever it is that's going on, get the help that you need to truly move beyond the battle. We should be going, not stopping. The next thing we should be doing is rising, not dropping. So the only place I will say this though, if we drop at all, it should be only to drop to our knees. That's it. And then once we drop to our knees, our next thing is to rise. And when I say rise, I'm talking about rising above whatever the negative mindset, whatever the carnage of the battle, whatever the situation. We have to rise above that. And I don't mean in a snooty patootie because I'm so good. And we ignore and say, no, this isn't bothering me. I'm going to be rising above it. No. That's not what I mean. When I say rise, I'm literally saying that when that thought comes into your head that says, oh, you know, I really can't do this. I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me. When that you see your bank account and it says, you know what, I'm just broke. I have no money. God said that I am the lender, not the borrower. My Father has many mansions and thousands of cattle on a hill. So how can I be broke when my Father is so rich? When those negative thoughts or those negative, situations come against us, we are to combat them with positivity. That is where we should be keeping our focus. Not so much focusing on the hurt, but focusing on the healing that comes, not letting us get our focus so far on what's going wrong that we can't see what's going right. It's just like, was it Peter? That when Peter said, hey, can I come out and walk on the water with you, Jesus? And Jesus said, yeah, come on. And as long as he kept his eyes focused on Jesus, he was walking on water. But the minute he looked down, he started to sink. And that's what happens when we decide to drop. We drop deeper into our situations because our focus is only on what hurt us, what they said, what they did, how I'm broke, how I'm not enough, how I'm this, how I'm that. And as long as we keep our focus and what we say and what we speak on that, we will always drop and sink deeper into whatever the mess and carnage of our situations. But we rise when we focus on the one that's above. We can't, it's kind of impossible to sink if you're when people are drowning, you see them crowning their heads up in order to rise above the water. It's a natural inclination, and sometimes we forget that. We forget that because we're just so focused on what's going wrong. But we have to keep our focus on what's going right. Keep our focus and our minds on the positivity. If you can't speak those things over yourself, I completely get it. Because I literally, when I opened my mouth, nothing but negativity came out. And this is the honest to God truth. one day someone at my life coach asked me, Tierney, what do you want? And the only thing I could tell her was the negativity of what I didn't want. I couldn't even articulate what I wanted. I was so dropping so fast into the battle and the negativity and all of that I couldn't even speak positivity over myself or over my life. But you know what I did? That's when I started my vision wall. Not just my board, but my wall. I have all type of positive affirmations that are on my wall, and it's in my office and it's in my bedroom, so that in those moments when I couldn't speak it over myself, I couldn't even really think positive, I couldn't speak positive, I could look at my wall. And I had everything from scriptures to just positive affirmations, things that said, Tierney, you are enough. Whatever, regardless of what's going on, you are enough. Scriptures like count it all joy. When we face these different trials, scriptures like from Romans 8. I'm blanking on it right now, right as I'm trying to right as I'm trying to say it. It's like my mind is like, but I have all of these positive affirmations all around my house. So if you need to get sticky notes, if you need to get paper and marker and just start sticking these around your house, on your front door before you leave in the morning, on your mirror when you're getting dressed in the morning, throughout the day, having those positive affirmations, even saving it as a screensaver on your phone. I have that too, where as soon as I pick up my phone, where a lot of times the negativity comes from, someone's calling us with something, bad news, or we looking on social media and something is on there that just brings us down and tries to force us to drop. Have those positive affirmations everywhere. So as soon as something negative comes in, you are combating it with something positive. And when you can't think of anything else to say, you don't know what else to do, I always like to pull out Viola Davis and her quote from The Help. Tierney, you is kind, you is smart, you is important. Even if that's all that you can say over yourself, saying that and doing that will automatically, you will begin to rise and you'll begin to feel better. Maybe not in that moment, maybe not at that second, but it will keep you from dropping deeper and deeper and deeper into your pit of despair, or our pits of despair. We'll actually start to rise up out of that. The third thing is to fly. Excuse me. Here I want to point out something that my best friend, about 3 years ago, she started calling me T-Bird. And I'm like, T-Bird? Like what, Thunderbird? Like what do you mean T-Bird? And she would tell me all the time, you're flying. I'm like, no, I'm not flying. She's like, no, yeah, really, you're flying. You are really flying. You just don't see it, but you are flying over so many hurdles, and there's so much that is going on around you that you are soaring. Meanwhile, I didn't feel like I was soaring. All I could see was everything that was going on around me. And so I definitely didn't feel like this, foul that she was saying, T-Bird. Like, what? If anything, I'm some stuck on the ground bird, not one that can fly. I'm a peacock, maybe something that, I'm too heavy to fly. I don't know. But she kept calling me T-Bird. And it wasn't until some years later, maybe a year or so, later, that I could then start to see that I was flying. Now, here's the thing. I eventually realized that, again, because I was so focused on stopping and dropping, that I was just allowing myself to roll around in crap. I was just, if you've ever rolled down a hill, as a kid, or, you realize that when you get to the bottom of the hill, you have grass stains in your clothes, you have twigs in your hair, you have all kind of dirt and debris, and don't let you roll over somebody else's used chewing gum. It's, you pick up other people's stuff as you are rolling around in these situations. And because I had been rolling around for so long in these various situations, that's all I knew, was to just roll around in it. But eventually, as I started to go and connect with others, because I figured out that, okay, Satan wants us to isolate ourselves and stop and just go into a corner. But as I kept going, as I kept, looking at the positive affirmations that I have all over my house, and as I kept shutting my eyes and shutting my ears and shutting my mouth to the negativity that was swarming around me and trying to infiltrate me, I eventually kept doing it, and I kept doing it, and I kept pumping, and I kept pumping, and I kept, I kept my eyes closed, and I kept focused. Lord, I'm focused on you. I'm focused on what you said about me. I am the head, not the tail. I am good enough. I am more than enough. I am more than a conqueror. And as she was saying, you're flying, it was like I just needed to open my eyes at that point and see it. She was right. I was flying. I was really doing it because I was just pumping all of this positivity and pumping it into myself, and refusing to roll around in anything else that was beneath me. And it wasn't because I was saying I was better than anyone or anything like that, but I knew what God had for me at that point. I knew at that point what my purpose was, because I kept my eyes focused on him and what he said about me and the positivity. So when the battles were coming and the winds were buffeting me, oh no, you're just strengthening my wings. That's all you're doing, wind. That's all this battle is doing. It's just strengthening me. It's teaching me how to fly and soar at greater heights, instead of being the very thing that I stopped and rolled around in and just picked up other people's, bad habits or negativity and started owning all of that stuff. I allowed it then to be the strengthener to my wings, so that I could keep flying higher and higher and higher. Who has ever seen an eagle roll around on the ground? I haven't. If that's a characteristic of eagles that I don't know about, somebody from National Geographic, call me, set me straight. But as far as I know, eagles don't roll around on the ground. Eagles don't roll around in mess and drama and toxic. And they don't. But pigs do. Pigs roll around in all kind of stuff and slop and their own messes and other people's messes, and whatever you throw in the pig pen, a pig gonna roll around in it. Something else I thought about is that saying, when you don't believe something is going to happen, or you say, I'll believe it when pigs fly. Because pigs don't fly. Pigs roll. And I, for one, I don't want to be like the prodigal son that's rolling around with the pigs, when I know that I was made to be an eagle, to fly and to soar and to sit on perches on high. I want to make sure that when these battles come, I can use them to strengthen my wings. And as I am being buffeted by the wind, it's helping me to soar higher and higher, not be the slop that is thrown in a pig pen that I then start rolling around in. Once the battle comes and we decide how we're going to react, we choose what we're going to learn from the battle, and we start to move beyond the battle, our movement, we have to then make another decision. Are we going to stop, drop, and roll and expect to move beyond the battle that way? Or are we going to go, rise, and fly? I, for one, I'm going, I'm rising, and I'm flying. And I want you to do the same. So let's fly to that next level. Talk to you soon.